Hey, everybody. Welcome to Thursday night book club. We are reading Successful Women Think Differently. I always say it wrong, but it's habit number 5. And if you haven't read it and you're here to listen hard and then go back and read. And then if you've read it, you know the goodness that we're about to go over tonight. So I like to ask a ton of questions when I do book clubs, and I'm going to start off with just in the chat, how many of you suffer with negative emotion? And it doesn't have to be all the time, but just sometimes. Let's see what everybody has to say. Yep. So pretty much it is a very normal thing. And then after reading this chapter, it was like, have positive emotion or die. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm kidding. It's a little heavy, but it truly makes a big difference when it comes to like longevity and your lifespan. And she just starts off with 3 key topics that she wanted to talk about, and they're so fire that I can't skip over them before we dive in. She says, happiness leads to success, not the other way around. Happiness will get you there. Success will not create your happiness. Build an emotional bank account. Listen heavily on this part because holy cow, it was just eye-opening, of positive experiences. And don't make the big decisions when you're in emotional rut. So those are just key things to take away from all of this. And then we're going to break them down. She really goes into some great stories and great examples, but those were 3 like fire topics. So she goes into a story about some nuns, and they all had journals that they were writing in. And a lot of them, they were tracking how many positive emotions that they were writing in their journal. And the stunning results were that the nuns who expressed the most positive emotion in their writing, those in the top 25% for positive emotion, lived an average 9.4 years longer. That's why I said get positive or die, because that is a huge difference. 9.4 years longer than the nuns in the bottom 25% who expressed the least amount of positive energy. That was mind-blowing. I could see like a year or 2, maybe even 3, but 9, that is enormous, an enormous amount of time. And then one of her key things that she was saying was happiness doesn't come from success. Success is actually built off of your happiness. If you're not happy going in, there is nothing that is going to make you happy, even if or when you achieve what you're looking to do, because there's always going to be something else. Happiness actually causes success. So if you're happy, you're going to be motivated. You're going to want to do things. You're going to want to motivate others to do the things. Your happiness is going to radiate and duplicate. So get happy, y'all. Whatever that entails, do that. They mistakenly believe that if only they had X, and these are people who think that success is, that happiness will build their success, or success will build their happiness, rather. They believe that they will finally be happy if they get that promotion. And sometimes in that job, we sometimes think that if we get that next point rank, or if we get that next promotion, or if we get that next builder, everything's going to change. And in a sense, nothing is going to change because that person's going to come in and they're going to do what they're doing. But yet, if you're not happy within yourself, it's not going to express any kind of happiness within you. It's only going to reflect on them. And what if that person goes away? What if those points go away? You're still in that rut. So it's really not fixing anything. Fix your happiness first. The positive emotion and moments that are created along the way actually make you emotionally, physically, and mentally stronger, thereby enabling you to make wiser decisions so you actually think better. You make stronger relationships and handle the unexpected turns of challenges of life. This empowers you to be successful. So happiness will empower you to become the leader that you're looking to be. So that was all about positive, but she also goes into the power of negative emotion and starts off by saying that negative emotion is more psychologically powerful than positive. And the reason she says that is because you need 3 positive to counteract 1 negative. That's a big ratio. That takes a whole lot of positives. So just stay away from the negative. Just stay away from it. In fact, it takes, she said it takes 3 positive experiences to balance the effects of 1 negative. Focus on signature strengths, and that's where that positive power will come in. All of these positives will make 1 negative an easier pill to swallow. What does she mean by that? If you go into any kind of conversation, if you're talking to a builder or if you're talking to a client and you have some hard things to say, start off with positive strength building situations, and then it's a lot easier to go into that 1 negative situation that you have to talk about. It's going to ease into it and it's not going to feel so hard. Start with the positive and with the negative. I don't know who all is reading in the book, but we're on page 122, and this is where I have a lot highlighted. So everything was fantastic up until here, but this really just spoke to me. And she was talking about building an emotional bank account. And I need you all to take this in because this is real. You cannot overfill the positive, but you can deplete your positive and go into the red so hard that your brain won't even be able to focus. So going into the emotional bank account, what does that mean? Both negative and positive emotions build over time, like a bank account. Positive emotions are deposits added into the account, cushioning the blow of any negative experiences that you face. Negative emotions are debit subtracted from the account. So if you have nothing to pull out of your bank account, you have no positive in there and you're just constantly taking out the negative, there is 0 chance that you're going to be able to get back to where you want to be. That is where success is built. It's built on positivity. Too many negative experiences result in negative emotions, weaken your ability to deal with stress and adversity. If you're finding yourself really getting stuck in a rut, if you're finding yourself not able to focus, not able to want to do the cold reach outs, not really wanting to do the IPA or really make that, you're probably so depleted and need to fill that cup. I was just telling one of my girls earlier today, I had my kids home. They were bickering and fighting. And I thought to myself, after reading this chapter, I need to do something positive. It was something as simple as I just went to Walmart and walked around. I just needed to be around people in a safe environment and away from my children fighting. And I had to remind myself, I am recharging my cup right now. Because if you forget to tell yourself when you're in the situation that you're recharging, you might miss it. Take that extra step to remind yourself we are recharging right now, and I feel so much better. Take that deep breath, and then you can move on. It was a lot easier to get my kids ready for jujitsu tonight because I took that breath. You can't, if I went in right away, I probably would have been screaming and yelling at my kids, and it would get us all nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Going on to page 124, she says, but here's the good news. Positive emotion can undo negative emotion. So if you feel that positive, it will erase the negative. Keep filling that cup and the negative will tend to just deplete on its own, and you'll be able to think more clear and get more things accomplished. Let's see. I have so many things underlined, but I don't want to spend too much time because I don't want to be the Sabrina show. This was really cool. On page 126, Dr. Veenhoven showed that being chronically unhappy has the same effect on longevity as smoking cigarettes daily. Let that sink in. Y'all, we can literally are killing ourselves by just being aggravated. And we can have all the power in the world of changing that. On average, the effects of unhappiness cut your life expectancy by 6 years. That's average. And you have the ability to change all of that. And then she goes into different ways on how, like livability and this was one of my questions for tonight, so I'm not going to go into it, but really, is your environment making you happy? Or where you are, is it really feeding you? Where you're doing your work every day, are you in the healthiest spot that you could be working? Are you surrounded by your kids screaming and yelling, and it's really not filling your cup and you're not doing the work that you really want to? Or can you just wait till nap time or step out of the house and do it then? Find a healthier spot to do your work. Life abilities, find your personal strengths and dwell into them. Like really get on top of your personal strengths and do it well and do it over and over again. I love loving on people. I love being surrounded by people. And if I could do that more, I would. And that's why I went to Walmart today, just to be surrounded. Meaning, how is someone's life better because they've crossed your path? What stamp are you leaving on somebody's life? Really think of that. When you walk away from somebody, did you leave them in a positive note or a negative? What did you say in the 30 seconds when you brushed past your neighbor in the grocery store? What did you leave them with? The cashier, what did you say to them to leave them? They will remember you by just telling them, hey, you look really pretty today. Your hair looks really nice today. Something. Spread the positive vibes. Satisfaction. Are you content with where you are? Think about that. Are you content with where you are right now? That can really dwell up some negative emotion if you are not. So really think about that. And then she goes into practical ways to build positive emotion, choose joy in midst of trouble, make deliberate choices, and different ways. Go out and get that cup of coffee. You know, if you're a social well-being kind of person, go out, make plans, have people come over. Are you career well-being, financial well-being, physical well-being? I love going to the gym with somebody. I love having a power partner. I will show up at the gym if I know somebody is waiting for me. True facts. I came home from vacation. My girlfriend posted in her stories that she was at the gym. I rolled out of bed to get to the gym so I could be there, as she was my accountability that day. And I got one of the best workouts that I could in. And spiritual well-being. Don't discredit this. Spiritual well-being will fill your cup every time. If you allow the Lord into your life and you allow that freedom to just attack your soul, you will live a longevity life. So I have some questions for you guys tonight, and then I'm going to go into the chat, kind of switch it up a little bit. But tonight's question, one that I said before, does your environment nurture you or drain you? And don't be shy. Let's go.
Hey guys. Oh, there's my video. I'm like, where did I go? Um, so I know this is kind of like maybe a tiny bit off topic, but having a workplace that you feel like is clean is so important to me. Last week I cleared off my desk. I was getting a little bit bad with just stacking stuff on it and not using it for a desk. So I cleaned that off and made it a place that I loved. Oh shoot, I have a kid running out of bed. All right. Anyways, make your workplace pretty.
I don't know if my workplace drains me, but it definitely distracts me a little bit. Just because I work at our bar in the kitchen and I have 3 boxers and they are so high energy. They never nap. They never do anything. It's just like constant attention. So I've actually looked into places in town where I could possibly rent an office space, because I feel like if I'm there, alone, I will be able to really focus and get things done rather than dogs barking, chasing them around. I guess they're kind of like kids. They just don't talk. But yeah, so I've just been looking for an office space just so I can really focus in and get things done without any distractions. I don't know if it drains me, but it distracts me.
I feel like when you say drain, it is kind of like a negative reaction. So it could be a negative thing because it's not bringing you joy. So it's definitely a really good idea to seek out other places. Anybody else?
I lived with my parents until very, very recently. And my household is chaotic. It was so like I was there for 2 minutes today and I was like, this is why I left. So I think just being like in a space that's like my own and that's I've created is incredibly helpful too. But if I'm looking for somewhere, I love the library. Like in college, I studied in the library in a pod with everything closed because I'm really easily distracted. So anything that's like, I need like 4 blank walls essentially, and nobody can talk to me. Like it needs to be very quiet because I think I have a little bit of ADHD in there. So I get very distracted. So I definitely love the library if anybody's looking for a spot.
I think one of the biggest distractions is actually working from your phone. So I realized that something that I would do was go sit at my desk and work from a computer, because phone is like, let's shop, let's text, let's check the email. But if you go and you sit down with your planner beside you and you work on a computer, if you're finding that you're distracted easy, that can definitely be really helpful. And I don't remember what your question was, Sabrina, because I feel really overwhelmed today and there is no escaping my life or my 7 kids or my husband who's random and just pops in with whatever he has to say. It's a lot of dynamics to work with and sometimes you can't escape from it. So I think taking a few deep breaths and just letting people know, or getting your kids situated and then just being like, I'm going to work here, and telling yourself like, I'm going to work for the next hour. I'm not doing anything else. And once I'm done working, then I can go do such and such. And that's enough to motivate you to, or motivate me anyways, to get through whatever. I don't think there's really any way to escape truly function with my life.
But you're here. And that's all that matters. At the end of the day, it was a chaotic, crazy day, and you still showed up. So I consider that a win. Anybody else? The question was, does your environment nurture you or drain you?
So a little bit. I feel like it depends on the time of day for me. Because I totally relate with, I only have 2 Fallon, but they're 3 and 2 years old. And if I try to do any kind of work while they're awake and not like entertained somehow, or if I'm trying to do anything where I'm trying to focus, it's just not it's like not possible. And that is extremely draining for me because I will like sit down to be like, okay, I'm gonna do these 3 things really fast. It'll only take me like 10 to 15 minutes, and then an hour's passed and I'm frustrated because 1.5 of those things are done and the other is not. So it's a huge like time of day thing for environment. And I found that like I really have to protect that and be like, okay, my time of day to do these things, then it's a good, positive, nurturing environment. If I try to move it outside of that time frame, though, it becomes extremely draining and like stressful. So I don't know if anybody else relates with that, but that's mine.
That's so good that you realize that though, because a positive outlook of that is that you can find little gaps to bring you that peace. And you know when not to, because that will bring on more negative emotion. So it's good to be aware. So I'm going to move on to question number 2. What talents and strengths are going underutilized in your life? What potential is going untapped? I'll go for this one. I know I'm a people person, and sometimes I just like to be home. So instead of going out and filling my cup and talking to other people, especially at the gym, and just doing my thing, I will tend to recluse and I will stay home. And I know that that is doing me no justice and not bringing me any joy at the end of the day. It may be fulfilling then, but then at the end of the day, I feel like I didn't get much done or should have done something else, or especially not going to the gym. Then I feel like a big ball of mush. But that's a talent and strength that I feel goes underutilized sometimes in my life. So does anybody else have any?
Mine's the same. My work, my current work drains me. So I'm a people person and I agree. But when I get home, I like I'm so talked out and I'm so tired and I'm like mentally drained and physically drained. So I find it really hard to sit down and just do what I need to do. Like, but it's so easy. And that I think that's where I get hung up on with my own self, because I say it's easy. We know it's hard. But for me, talking to people and reaching out and having conversations, that's easy for me. I don't have a hard time with that. Um, it's just doing it, finding the want to do it. Um, because I'm tired and I want to come home and I want to not do anything else but just be and hang out with the kids. And I think that's something I'm starting to learn, but it's my biggest setback right now is just time management. And I have ADHD as well. Just like I know a lot of us have that. Um, but just getting organized and doing what I need to do. So.
And changing that just 1%. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Just changing it a little bit each day, and then it will spiral into something that you would like. So don't put so much pressure on yourself that you have to change your entire nightly routine. Just change it a little bit. Get on the phone with somebody on the way home, do just a little bit more. That's it. Anybody else?
So this is a tiny bit off topic, I'm sorry, but I thought of it when she said in the book, like, don't make any drastic decisions, out of unhappiness or like interfere. And I know we're all women here. So Fallon made me keep track of the day of the month where I literally am like planning a divorce, like my life is over, like everything sucks. My kids are all gonna go to I don't know, whatever. And she's made me keep track of it because it happens every month. And so anyways, I kept track and it's like 7 days out from my time of the month every time. So this will actually help you feel like you're not a psychopath, or maybe that you are, I don't know. But it'll make you feel like when you think like, oh my gosh, my business sucks, no one's ever going to join me, like this is all going wrong. You'll be like, no, I'm just like, this is fine. This is all going to be fine tomorrow when I wake up. So anyways, that's a quick tip for you guys. And then like on the topic though, like I'm really good at getting things done. So I really want to be better about like getting even more done than I am getting done with just Plexus work and IPA and all of that. So really like I know I'm good at getting things done when I can see it in front of me, but not as good when I can't see it, like all the conversations and new friends and all that. So that's me.
Oh
Courtney,
my.
you're the best. Sorry, that was so,
No.
I loved it. I loved it. It was so good. It just made me go down, made me be like, yeah, it's probably right. Like when you connect the dots and you pay attention and you track it and you like lead back to that. So yeah, I could feel like that would be something in my life that I would be like, that makes sense when I'm feeling like all this failure. it's probably because I'm somewhere around the cycle or whatever's going on. So thanks for sharing that. I love that. I feel like I love to connect with people. And so that's my strength, but it also, going back to like the depleting, sometimes it depletes me. So trying to find that balance and knowing like, I don't have to, this is when you're saying, Sabrina, like, be strong in your spirit. I don't have to take on anybody's burdens or the struggles that they're going through. Like if I show up and I'm just here to help and my help is just connecting and making them feel seen and heard and felt, like then I'm doing something right, and let the other stuff fall into place. Because sometimes I feel like I put so much pressure on myself with the connection and helping them that I slide back because I'm like you want to go out and you want to be with people, but you like go in the house and you're like, I'm just gonna recluse and stay back. I feel like I do that. I connect with people and I go there and then I almost am like, oh my gosh, that was a lot. I need my time to just like recoup, because that's a lot of feelings that I'm feeling from them and myself. And so connection is my like strength, but it's also where like I struggle to be consistent because it's a lot that I feel like I take on. That's what I'm trying to do.
It is a lot. It absolutely is. I'm going to put out the last question just before we run out of time. So feel free to answer the other one as well. The last question is, what aspects of your life bring you joy? So let's end on this.
Okay. I've been waiting for the last question. I'm like, I'm not going to talk until the last question, which is, so it's, I am obsessed with this chapter and I have so many thoughts on this. And so the timing is crazy. But I want to share the story. Lately, I've been feeling very mentally scattered and like I've had a writer's block, and kind of a creativity block. And just like, I don't know what to post. I don't like not having the energy, not having the mental clarity, not being able to focus, just having so many things going on in my mind. And I've just been like, what is this? What's going on? You know, I don't feel like I have anything to talk about. And this is a very common thing that I hear that we all go through. Like, I know all of us are like, I don't know what to post about. I don't have anything to say. So, Megan and I just went on a girls' trip, and we pretty much spent all of it outside, just like outside, like swimming in natural springs, hiking, waterfalls, like really just rejuvenating in Mother Nature. And then I came home, and today I spent the whole day just doing self-care. I went to the gym. I came home and I worked a little bit. I took a bath. I went and took my dog and we went hiking, and I felt so connected to my life and I felt so refreshed. And I was out there hiking with her and I just started having so many ideas. Like I was like, I need to post about this. I need to post about that. Like I'm going to make a graphic about this. Like all of the ideas started coming back to me. And I was just like, I haven't had anything to say because I haven't been taking care of myself and I haven't been experiencing joy in life. I've just been checking the boxes, getting through, going. And I haven't taken that time. I got on the team page and I made a story. I went live and I did a training. Like I actually feel like a completely different person. And so I want to say that because, if you're in that place too, which I know some of you probably are, go get outside and just spend a whole day taking care of yourself, just enjoying your day. After my hike, I went and I got dinner and watched live music with my dog. And there was a guy out there who was giving like chair massages. I got a massage, came home, took a bath. Like then I painted and I'm literally so rejuvenated. So go and take care of yourself for a whole day and watch your creativity come back because of all the joy. Seriously, life hack.
That was spot on. And we can keep going, but it is past 9:30, and I think Natalie just wrapped it up with that one. Happiness fills your cup. It does produce what you are looking for and will complete you and will build your success. So that's the antidote if that's what you're looking for. Happiness. All right, guys, have a great night and we'll see you next week.